you a dairy producer? Or do you grow grapes, nuts, fruits, or vegetables? We have it all with American Vineyard, Pacific Nut Producer, California Fresh Fruit, California Dairy, and Vegetable West magazines. Subscribe for free now at malcolmmedia.com to stay current on the freshest news in your industry.
I'm Matthew Malcolm with Pacific Nut Producer magazine, reporting to you from the office of Richard Matioan at American Pistachio Growers in Fresno, California. In his inaugural video report with Pacific Nut Producer magazine and California Ag Network, here's Richard to talk about the current state of the pistachio industry.
So we're about a couple of months away from harvest for the 2016 season, and I know that talking with growers, the reports that I've been getting from the field seem to be very, very positive about there being a big crop. This year is our on year, so our large year for pistachios. And talking with growers, there's an expectation that there could be 700 million or even more than that pounds of pistachios to be harvested in the field this year. Now, the one thing that we have learned about pistachios is that we're not always very good at being able to predict the crop size. So unlike other commodities like almonds and others that may have USDA go out and do crop estimates, we don't do that in pistachios. But that doesn't mean that we're any more accurate or inaccurate. Pistachios are very, very difficult to determine what the crop size is. And the reason for that is the shell develops first. So in May and in June, you have a fully formed shell. And yet, it's not until late June and July that we have what's called the nut fill period, where it starts to fill with that meat or the kernel of the pistachios. And so if someone is to just look at the number of nuts that are on the tree, to look at the shells that are out there, they have one idea of what the crop size can be. But it's not until you start actually cutting the pistachios open that you're really able to see whether or not you have a fully formed nut developing inside of that shell. And so last year, for example, we had a situation where we had a tremendous amount of blanks. And we had some orchards that had 80, even up to 90% blanks. Some orchards weren't even harvested because of that. In any given year, we could have up to 10% blanks. So as a result of the drought and low chilling hours during the previous winter and spring, those are factors that can lead into having a high number of blanks later that year at harvest. But you know, from what I'm hearing from growers, things look very, very positive out there. Growers are going through the normal process, watching out for fungal mildew problems, insect, particularly the navel orangeworm is an issue that they have to be careful and monitor for and spray for if need be. And I'm hearing generally that things are pretty good as far as fungal diseases and pest concerns go. But we know with navel orangeworm, with the high amounts of other commodities like almonds, that are neighbors or nearby pistachios, and we have to be very vigilant about monitoring and keeping on top of our spray programs. On Friday, July 22nd, we have our annual membership luncheon. It's being held at the Visalia Convention Center. It's an opportunity to invite both members and non-members, hear a little bit more about what APG is doing on their behalf, talk about some of our marketing programs, what we're doing on the legislative front, talk about issues and topics pertinent to the industry. Later, after the luncheon, we have a board meeting. It's one of our quarterly board meetings. We also invite our members to come to that. So it makes for a nice day for our members to get together just prior to harvest every year and for them to join together to hear more about what the association's doing on their behalf. One of the issues that we're working on this year that's very, very important is called the Sunset Review. And without trying to get overly detailed, there's a process by which we go through once every 5 years with the federal government. We have both anti-dumping and countervailing duties against the country of Iran for product that is imported here. And those duties effectively prohibit the entry of their in-shell product due to the high amount of tariffs. But every 5 years we have to justify to the US government the imposition of these tariffs. So we're going through that process right now. We anticipate a hearing with both the US International Trade Commission as well as the Department of Commerce on maintaining those duties that are in place for imported product that comes in from the country of Iran.
Stay current with what's going on in the California pistachio industry by reading Pacific Nut Producer Magazine. I'm Matthew Malcolm, CaliforniaAgNet.com.